Guys, it's Jasper, and today I want to talk about writing music. So, last week I got a question from Charles Fetters concerning writing music. As well, on my Instagram, I tend to get a lot of questions about the music that I listen to, and so I thought today would be a great day to tell you guys a few of the artists I listen to while I'm writing. Now, I know in the camp of what do you listen to while you write, it is very, very different from person to person, and so of course,
whatever you do, you, right?
I am the sort of person who loves writing to music. I love listening to music when I'm doing anything in general. I have playlists for almost everything. I have playlists for nearly every kind of event you can imagine. For Halloween parties, Christmas parties, New Year's parties, just having people over and like for coffee and stuff. I have playlists called like Get Together and Drink Coffee. Coffee playlist, easy listening coffee playlist. I have multiple road trip playlists. If I'm going on a road trip, I'm gonna make another playlist for that road trip because every road trip has its own thing. I have playlists for nearly everything I do, for cooking, cleaning, driving. I have playlists based on mood, or if I'm taking a nap, or if I'm sleepy, or if I'm sad, or if I was sad but I'm not sad anymore and I need some kind of pep stuff but not too peppy. I have millions and millions and millions of playlists on my iTunes. Obviously not millions, that's insane. I don't have that yet, but I have tons and tons of playlists for different moods, activities, and events. And so, surprise, surprise, I make playlists for my writing. Now, when I talk about listening to music while I write, there are two general categories. One, lyrics, music that's got lyrics, and generally this is what I listen to the most. The second category, which I'm actually going to do first, so I guess it's technically the first category, is music that doesn't really have lyrics in it, and for me, that is just listening to soundtracks. So if I'm in a particular mood and I just cannot handle lyrics, I need to just kind of trance out into my work, soundtracks are what I do. Now, the big soundtracks I've been listening to lately have been Outlander, of course, season 1 and 2. I don't have the track for season 3 yet. Vikings, big time. Love listening to the Vikings soundtrack. Harry Potter. And there's also this loop of the Pan's Labyrinth lullaby, the and it's like for 12 hours or something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've talked about this before. It will make you crazy, but man, if that's the atmosphere you need, it puts you in a really good trance, writing, focus, perfect. So those are the main soundtracks that I've been listening to if I need something that doesn't have lyrics. Now, technically, the Vikings and the Outlander soundtrack, they do have some songs that have got singing, but they're either so like melodically done, like it's really like stretched out singing, or it's another language, and so just whoop over my head. The main things I like about these soundtracks is that they have either an adventure vibe to them or a creepy vibe. And adventure and creepiness are two big things I look for in writing music. Now, the second group of music that I listen to, music with lyrics, is again what I listen to most often. I have on my computer, like I said, lots of different playlists for my writing, and so if I'm listening to soundtracks, I usually just listen to the soundtrack straight through, but with music with lyrics, I gotta have my playlist made up. Now, these playlists are established by the mood they create, and in some cases are dedicated to specific characters. Now, this is gonna be a great big list of artists, but my main hitters for listening to music while I write is Regina Spektor, Daughter, Of Monsters and Men, M. Harris, Bishop Briggs. I'm gonna stop counting with my fingers because I'm gonna stop counting. Lisa Hannigan, The National, Ruth B., Ingrid Michaelson, Birdie, Ed Sheeran, and The Staves. Now, a lot of the artists above, the reason why I like their music for while I'm writing is because they give off To me anyways, there's a sense of like mythicness or fairy or folkishness that feeds my story. Some of them are creepy, some of them are powerful songs, some of them are just really emotional. Overall, what I love about most of these artists is that their lyrics trigger things in my head. The language that they use, phrases that they include, images that are created just by listening to this, it just opens me up in what it is I need to work on. So very often what will happen is sometimes when I'm writing, I will listen to an entire playlist. Sometimes I will move around between playlists, or I'll start with a playlist and then move to soundtracks. It all depends how I'm feeling. But often what will happen is I will sometimes just, to get myself in a writing mood, I have certain songs that at certain times are more or less helpful. For instance, the last, I don't know, like few months, maybe 2 months, since I've discovered this song, I have been listening to The Blood I Bled by The Staves again and again and again and again. And it's just amazing. Sometimes I'll also watch a video somebody created. It's like an Outlander fan video that incorporates the song by The Staves, The Blood I Bled, and between just the imagery and then the song, it just gets me all like, you know, ready to write. And so sometimes I'll use music in that way, where I will just listen to a song and then nothing while I write. Now, something that's important to note is that there are some big hitters who I have not mentioned in my list of artists with lyrics, which is such a weird category. And that is because they are songs I'll sometimes just listen to that single song or listen to for specific characters. And they are Taylor Swift, Leona Lewis, Bruno Mars, Adele, just really dramatic stuff. Like, Look What You Made Me Do, when that song came out, I was like, oh, like, this is perfect for this one character. This is so like her vibe. This is awesome. Or Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis. I don't know what it is about that song. I am just trash for it. I just love it. I have been listening to that song nonstop since it came out. It is just fantastic emotion, and sometimes if I'm in a particular writing mood, it is just that song on repeat. Or Bruno Mars, the Grenade song. So I know this was a general overview video. It was maybe a little bit weird, maybe it did nothing at all, but I hope in the very least it introduced you to some new artists and hopefully someone who can help you with your writing. Whatever you do, listening to music while you write or not, just keep doing what works for you and don't worry about what works for other people if that doesn't work for you. As always, let's be a community of writers who help each other out. Cheers and cheers.
Boom,